The government has openly admitted to spraying chemicals in the air to either dim the sun or just test some biological weapons on us. They use silver iodide to promote rainfall, which is, I would argue, weather modification. Then they also spray reflective particles in the sky so that the sun's rays aren't as hot on the earth. And then my favorite is they use bacteria stimulants to see how quickly bacteria in the sky can spread. Just studying how quickly we can get sick. Not actually trying to make us sick though, right? It was just to study how quickly we could all get sick. You know. Anyways, this is my driver. Why do you need to study it? Why do you need... Oh, we're doing it because what if another country comes in and does that to us? No, our own country is doing that to us. Just... So illogical. So illogical. Whatever.
The Associated Press that the American government has created weather tampering techniques so that the New World Order will be able to starve millions of Americans and to control the rest. Would you explain what you were trying to say?
Well, what I was trying to say is exactly what I said. There is weather control techniques. We have a complete package on that, which I did not bring, but I certainly will see to it that it is brought in for the record. Number one, the entire patents on the equipment. Number two, Senator Claiborne Pell's complete statement and story of his own that not only does it exist, but that we even utilize it as far back as the Vietnam War. You might want to touch base with Senator Pell.
I just want to repeat before I turn to...
So yes, but we do have all that information.
You're saying the government has created weather tampering techniques so that the, quote, New World Order will be able to starve millions of Americans and to control the rest.
Yes, sir, and that's my belief.
So we invest in these technologies to assist with the warming climate, and the effect of sulfur dioxide in the atmosphere will help block some of the warming, and the particles stay in the air for 1 year. So, and actually we're speaking to some of the airplane manufacturers to see if they can emit some of our technology into the atmosphere to help with the global warming. That's right.
Fantastic.
Yeah, climate. I mean, we don't like to use the term climate engineering. It scares people, so we prefer.
Of course, but for me being an engineer, I think that's actually what you do.
Oh yes.
Work actually came out of the military, so they do this all the time.
Have you worked with them at all?
No, because they're a little more closed door about their procedures.
You ever heard of sulfur dioxide?
Yeah.
You've heard of that? Okay. Yeah.
It's actually pretty cheap to do it. The ability to put sulfur dioxide there is actually a pretty cheap way to cool down the earth.
Oh, yeah.
So the opportunity for, one or two people to do it is, impressive. He went a little further. He's like, it'd be interesting if the government started doing this over each other's territories on purpose. Like if we start getting to weather modification as a, government, either good or bad.
After I read this to you, you will literally be forced, you will be shaken out of your sleep. But it's going to be so intense and so in your face that you are literally going to want to go back to sleep at this point. So literally proceed with caution. Let's read this. This is the Masonic Creed written by John D. Rockefeller. If you don't know who the Rockefellers are, the Rothschilds, all of the top richest families, John D. Rockefeller founded the General Board of Education, the education that we learn, the education that is programming us.
We already know that on this channel, but I like her passion about this. We're gonna let her rock.
Listen to this. We will keep their lives short and their minds weak while pretending to do the opposite. We will use our knowledge of science and technology in subtle ways. Mind you, this was written in the 1800s, so that they never see what is happening. We will use soft metals, aging accelerators, and sedatives in food and water, as well as in the air. They will be covered in poisons wherever they turn. The soft metals will make them lose their minds. We will promise to find a cure for our many funds, and yet we will give them more poison. Chemical poisons will be absorbed through the skin of idiots who believe these certain hygiene and beauty products presented by great actors and musicians will bring eternal youth to their faces and bodies. And through their thirsty and hungry mouths, we will destroy their minds and systems of internal organs reproduction. However, their children will be born disabled and deformed, and we will hide this information. The poisons will be hidden in everything around them, in what they drink, eat, breathe, wear. We will be ingenious in distributing the poisons because this is so long. This is so long and there's so much here. I could literally make a part 2 reading the rest of the creed. I want to read you guys 2 quotes from John D. Rockefeller himself. To get into his father and his family lineage is a whole other thing. It's crazy. When they rise up against us, we will crush them like insects because they are less than that. They will be helpless to do nothing or to do anything about it. The second one is I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers. He's in charge. He founded the Board of Education, right? Training us to be little freaking worker bots, training us to live in this stage that they created.
Between all the nations in weather prediction and eventually in weather control.
The Army's need to know more and more about weather that surrounds this planet is a vital part of the expanded research program of atomic weapons. We all talk about the weather. The Army is doing something about the weather.
I'm going to prove to you that those clouds out there are chemtrails, and they are literally creating the weather. So if you look at this screenshot, you can clearly tell it's 1:52, and it's supposed to be cloudy at 3 p.m. Now I'm going to show you a few more clips going to 3 p.m. and after, so you can literally watch it in real time. Them literally creating clouds and covering the sun. Because I'm not lying. I hope y'all realize they literally make the weather. That's how they know the weather. It's almost 2 p.m. right now, and at 3 p.m. for the next few hours, it's supposed to be cloudy. Now just watch. They're not predicting it, they just make it. And here's the proof. It's right in front of your eyes. Please wake up. These are not clouds. They are chemtrails. They make you dumb. They make you sick. They block out the sun, which is the most necessary nutrient on the planet.
Absolutely sick. Look at that. Look at this. Absolutely sick. This is geoengineering, folks. Solar radiation management. Basically what they're doing is they're trying to cover the sun. And this has been going on for years now, folks. I think it's time to wake up, honestly. So many asleep. And it's not a conspiracy no more because they even admit it. Look at the shadow being left behind. Look at that. Totally normal, eh? Absolutely sick.
May 1st, 2026. The sky was clear most of the day, and then towards sunset, they started covering the sky.
Po pierwsze, chcę, żebyście obserwowali to niebo. Nigdy wcześniej czegoś takiego nie widziałem, ale to, co to jest, to wygląda jak portal albo tunel czasoprzestrzenny, który się otwiera. Wy wszyscy, naprawdę tak jest. Pozwólcie, że zrobię to tutaj. Zmniejszę go, żebyście mogli go zobaczyć. Przyglądałem się anomaliom, które występują tutaj w FAA na Hawajach, odkąd doszło tam do absolutnie strasznych powodzi. Pozwólcie, że odwrócę sytuację. Na Hawajach doszło do absolutnie strasznych powodzi, najgorszych od 20 lat. To znaczy, nie ma przerwy. A teraz mamy coś w rodzaju portalu na niebie. To jest oficjalna kamera pogodowa FAA weather.gov. Kamera FAA. Obserwowałem ich. Jest tam, dokładnie tam, a potem znika. Widzisz to?
To jest szalone.
Jest tam, dokładnie tam. Dokładnie tam o 22:45. Dokładnie tam. A potem całkowicie znika przy następnej kamerze. Ale nie, na Hawajach są straszne powodzie. I myślę, że jest tam jakaś aktywność. Jakaś aktywność UFO. I spójrz na to tutaj. Właśnie tam. Miłego wieczoru.
And
It's big news, I think is how you pronounce it. It's big news, Brzezinski.
he said technology will make available to the leaders of major nations techniques for conducting secret warfare, of which only a bare minimum of the security forces need be appraised. Techniques of weather modification could be employed to produce prolonged periods of drought or storm. Well, son of a gun, we've got evidence that that's exactly what they've been doing in Iran. Iranian expert accuses U.S. Israel of weather manipulation to deepen the drought. An Iranian water resource specialist has accused the United States and Israel of manipulating regional weather patterns to intensify Iran's severe drought. According to the Middle Eastern Media Research Institute, they claimed in a July 30th interview on the Iranian YouTube channel that both nations had been deliberately diverting clouds away from Iran for over 4 decades.
Well, that's a violation of the treaty not to do that.
Ambasada Iranu w Kabulu opublikowała dziwnego tweeta. Mówią w nim po tym, jak Iran zniszczył tajne centrum do lokalizowania chmur i manipulowania pogodą w Zjednoczonych Emiratach Arabskich, wszystko zmieniło się z dnia na dzień. Wraz z końcem tajnego centrum mapa pogody w regionie całkowicie się zmieniła. Pada. Tak dużo, że ich zbiorniki spadły do 1%. Myśleli, że będą musieli wysiedlić ludzi z Tran, miasta liczącego 9 lub 10 milionów mieszkańców, musieli wysiedlić wszystkich, bo nie mieli wody. Ale teraz otwieramy bramy największej tamy w Iraku, ponieważ jej wydajność jest 100%. Tama nie osiągnęła 100% wydajności od lat. Podziemne źródła wody zaczęły się przelewać. I tak to wygląda. Tak to. Teraz wygląda w Iranie. Woda wszędzie, to szaleństwo. Woda wypływa z podziemi. A tutaj Iran zniszczył Amerykę. Więc kiedy Iran uderzył, mówią, że zniszczyli ich zakłady modyfikacji pogody, prawda? Kiedy Iran uderzył w całą Zatokę Perską Stany Zjednoczone, ponieważ mieliśmy tam bazy, a oni również usunęli modyfikacje pogodowe. Tak to wygląda w doniesieniach, prawda? Nikt nie może tego potwierdzić z całą pewnością, ale tak to wygląda, zwłaszcza po tym, jak Iran w Kabulu opublikował to na Twitterze. Oto, co Tucker Carlson i nasz dobry przyjaciel Dany Winnington mieli na ten temat do powiedzenia. I Tucker, są one wykorzystywane jako forma działań wojennych. Wiemy, że mamy kraje takie jak Iran, które są stale demonizowane. Oczywiście, jak dobrze wiesz, po 11 września otrzymaliśmy listę krajów, które miały być celem ataku, listę, która ewidentnie istniała jeszcze przed 11 września. Następnie każdy z tych krajów doświadczył suszy, która zdarza się raz na 1000 lat. Statystycznie i matematycznie jest to niemożliwe bez interwencji klimatycznej. Mamy też przywódcę Iranu na sali obrad ONZ, na nagraniu, który stwierdza, że NATO ogranicza im opady. Mamy też czołowych irańskich naukowców, którzy niedawno stwierdzili, że NATO robi to od 40 lat. Destabilizacja destabilizując deszcz, niszczysz zasoby żywności, a tym samym populację. Oto więcej z dne.
Mówię, że wiemy, że istnieje technologia pozwalająca sterować burzami o takiej skali. Dlaczego więc mielibyśmy myśleć, że nie stosują tego typu operacji? Mamy historyczny precedens. Projekt PAPI w Wietnamie odniósł tak duży sukces w kontrolowaniu opadów, że do 1976 roku uchwalono traktaty INMOD zabraniające manipulowania pogodą w celach wojennych, ale nie w odniesieniu do własnej populacji kraju. Chiński rząd już dawno temu otwarcie oświadczył, że projektuje burze śnieżne z wykorzystaniem elementów reagujących endotermicznie. To opatentowane elementy, które mogą dosłownie zmieniać kierunek.
A teraz pada tam deszcz.
The rumor is there's a secret cloud seeding and weather modification center in the UAE, Saudi Arabia. And right after Iran took it out, everything flipped overnight. Iraq and Iran suddenly get heavy rain every single week now. Temperatures even dropped a full 5 degrees, which is a massive shift. Iran's devastating drought is over. It was getting so bad that they were about to move the capital to Iran because of the water shortage, but now they don't need to. The center that they blew up is a research center, they say. But the rumor is it was designed to destroy agriculture and livestock in Iran and Iraq by triggering artificial drought and desertification. And back in 2011, the former president of Iran, he claimed Western countries are using high-tech equipment to drain the clouds of raindrops. And then in 2018, the Iranian war general blames the drought on Israeli cloud theft. Now, it is documented that we have turned weather into a weapon. There was a strategic mission that weaponized the weather into Vietnam called Operation Popeye. And that's where we disrupted Vietnam military supplies from being delivered. We had this technology back then. I can almost guarantee you the technology has only gotten better. So when they blew up this research center, did they knock the weather tech offline? Because now their dams are overflowing and they have water and crops look like they're ready to bloom.
I would like to take you into the laboratory and show you a few of the experiments that led us to our outdoor experiments in converting clouds into snow. Using our home freezing unit, such as this, we can form supercool clouds just like those in the natural atmosphere by taking a tiny piece of dry ice such as this and scratching it so a few tiny fragments fall into the supercool cloud. Long streaks develop. The particles grow very fast. They grow about 1 billion-fold in volume in a few seconds. Many millions of snow crystals form, and we get the same effect as is produced by dry ice. Dry ice is not particularly important as far as the fact that the CO2 is primarily important because it's colder than minus 35 degrees centigrade. This is a picture of the first cloud that we seeded back last November. Flying in a small Fairchild plane, and putting dry ice from a small dispenser in the bottom of the plane, and within minutes saw long streamers of snow falling from the base of the clouds and evaporating into the drier air below. Under many conditions, of course, full-fledged snowstorms will be produced in this way. Nature at last has permitted to do a little something about the weather.
Rare thunder snow caught on camera. Thunder snow? They don't go together. It's in the UK.
We just had thunder snow.
Thunder snow!
I'm taking the stairs.
Meteorologists have described this snowstorm as the heaviest snowfall in 146 years, with some areas receiving over 3 months worth of snowfall in just days. This is the Kamchatka Peninsula, specifically Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula. And the event took place primarily around the regional capital, which is Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky, and some of the nearby towns as well. There was a series of intense Pacific cyclones that unleashed unprecedented, record-breaking levels of snowfall, blizzards, and hurricane-force winds in this area, which completely paralyzed the region and shut everything down. Emergency services were like scrambling, and a lot of those people were probably trapped too. Some of the snowfall built up to second and even fourth floors of buildings. It was so much. Snow depths reached about 5 feet in a lot of places in just 24 hours, with some wind-driven snowdrifts piling up to 10 to 16 feet or higher, which buried entire buildings up to their second or even fourth floors, like I said. Now, the regional capital of Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky is a city of about 180,000 people. And this much snow overnight, or basically overnight, caused all of the roads to disappear, no sidewalks. You couldn't see where anything was. I don't even know how you figure out where to start. But obviously, they went into an emergency condition, and the local government was having to like dig tunnels through drifts to help residents escape through windows or doors to their residence.
Думаешь, вылезешь? Сходи в магазин, это купи хлеба, а? Не вопрос. Пакет с собой? И молока пакет.
Окей. Под крышами аккуратнее ходим.
This is the storm that just hit Russia. And you know what? It's on its way to the United States. Yeah, that big snowstorm we're having, this is where it started. And I don't think it's going to be big enough to bury cities like it did in Russia. But who knows? Yeah, that's what Russia experienced from this storm, which mainstream media is saying is going to hit this weekend all over the country of the United States of America. And this storm is set to affect at least 200 million people, many of which have never experienced this kind of a snow ice type situation. Not that anybody's really used to. Something like this from Russia that basically buries a whole city.
So there's all this talk about a snowstorm, but nobody looks up in the sky. You see Southwest right there? I bought a camera so we can actually see who's doing this. And I found all these jets who are barraging the skies before this alleged, build the snowman snowstorm. You see what I'm saying right here? And it got funnier when I checked the radar and I saw this. There's hardly any snow. And then if you take the radar a little farther, you got a little rain and you got light snow. Build a snowman. And since we're going to try to figure out who's doing it, can't seem to figure it out. Federal agencies involved in weather modification research. Department of Commerce, Department of Interior, National Science Foundation, Department of Defense. It's the federal government. That's why when the states try to ban the old weather modification, you got the feds doing it. And we take it one step further. National Weather Modification Policies and Programs, 1979, the President's Report and Congress. So on that note, I like to have solutions rather than living in fear from the federal government, but Wilhelm Reich, cloudbusters, people should look into these. You can clear up your skies. Obviously, the government wouldn't want you to know that.
Y'all ever seen a frozen ocean? That shit crazy. This fucking view is spectacular. Oh, that shit ain't frozen over there, boy.
Trees are literally exploding across parts of the Midwest right now, and no, this is not clickbait. It's an actual weather phenomenon that's happening right now. Okay, I know that obviously sounds fake, but this is completely real, and you've probably already seen it on the news because trees have been just randomly exploding. They're saying that whenever temperatures drop in an area fast enough, which by the way, we're talking about like negative 25 degrees, the sap inside of trees can freeze and expand so quickly that the trunk literally cracks open with a sound like a loud pop. This is actually called frost cracking, and meteorologists right now are warning that it could happen across Minnesota, Wisconsin, the Dakotas, and parts of Iowa and Michigan this weekend. Obviously, everybody should know about the huge snow and ice storm that's coming right now, but they're saying that this polar vortex could push wind chills down to negative 40.
Listen.
What was that?
What's that?
Oh my god. What was that? That was a tree. It literally cracked.
Is it raining right now in Nashville, Tennessee? How the is it raining? Oh, this is gonna be a nightmare. This is gonna be awful. Bitch. What?
去年に比べて長い間雪が降ってる感じですね。
I don't think it's any coincidence that just before this historic ice storm is about to hit the United States Air Force has been flying some super strange flight patterns. This is not normal. This is not normal. This is not normal. These planes are the KC-135 Stratotanker, a military aircraft that's primarily used for aerial refueling. But it can also be used for geoengineering, also known as weather modification. The Stratotanker can do stratospheric aerial injection, which involves releasing reflective particles into the atmosphere to cool the planet. This is no coincidence that this is all happening just before this giant ice storm is about to hit the entire United States.
So here I'm thinking maybe there is something wrong with the snow. But what exactly? Digging a bit deeper, I found out that microplastics are being found in the snow and apparently in absurd quantities. Now maybe that explains the fake snow, right? But what if there's something else? What if there's more than just microplastic? And this would be how this all started around the end of the month of January. Searching a bit, I found out that this is one of the first videos from this account on January 24th of what he believes to be fake snow in Dallas, Texas. Let's take a look at this.
This is
not snow, boy. This is fake snow.
And on that same day, on January 24th, this account posts this video. And she says, got a fresh snowball. It didn't melt at all, turned black and smelled like plastic. In 39 years of my life, I have never seen this happen.
Ready?
If you will. Oh my God.
It's not melting. It's not melting. Smell like plastic?
Smells like plastic.
Oh my gosh, it smells just like plastic.
Oh my gosh.
It's turning
Smells like
black.
chemicals.
Look at that, y'all.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all see that? It's a real bit. It's real, whatever they had outside.
Bird mark, I think, is because of the benzene or some sort of gas that the pig has. But still pretty weird.
Ain't no dripping.
The smell,
Ain't no dripping.
it's not dripping, nothing. That's pretty weird.
Wow.
It's not burning black,
Okay.
but it is melting in a very strange way. I don't know if you guys can see. Try to get it up close here. Hold on. See if we can focus.
Okay, try to focus.
It's almost like it's bubbling, like plastic. You know, like when plastic melts, kind of like shrinks, and it's not. There's no like water coming off of it. You know what I mean? Like, shouldn't it be like melting?
It's really weird, but the not melting, that has an explanation. It's called sublimation. It's when snow transforms into gas without passing through the liquid phase. However, this does not explain the plastic smell. Is it supposed to look like that or feel like that? It's kind of weird.
It's in Ohio. It's Dippin' Dots.
Oh, I kind of got reset up. No big deal. Look at that. Look at that. Oh. It won't even focus on.
Is he using UV light to see these things?
So, that's what's in your snow.
Yeah, but what is that? Oh my gosh.
That means that's what's in your river. That means that's what's in your lake. Look at them all. It's horrible. It's just horrible.
We are gonna do a little experiment. So I'm gonna take you guys outside with me. We're gonna collect a little bit of this snow here. Watch out, please. So, all right, guys, we're getting set up to check our snow. But we should just see water, right?
Yeah.
That's all we should. And we are just gonna put a tiny bit on there. It's a little rock. Let me show you guys this. I'm gonna flip this camera around. All right, guys. This is really weird
Is it moving?
because these are not ice crystals. You can clearly see that that is water on my slide.
Wait, so... Okay, so I actually found a picture of how they look, and yeah, it looks a bit different.
Okay. These look like effing parasites or some type of plastic. And we are seeing these strange X shapes, okay, which look very similar to me, like a chromosome marker.
Yeah.
Shiny blue these are.
Okay, so... Could just be some sort of parasite. This one looks different. And then you got something like this. But I don't think it's the same thing.
This is how heavy metals show up in the blood.
So heavy metals. Okay, so these are heavy metals in the blood. Wait, so found this article from 2016 short film reveals how heavy metals resemble crystals under a microscope. But yeah, this is more like it. Look at that. Oh my gosh. That could actually be a formation of heavy metals or something like that, but I'm not sure. Someone says, it looks like graphene. It actually looks a bit like it, but still this is not evidence. What about the lab results?
So the lab results are in from the crazy snowfall in Texas. Let's have a look at these water samples. Aluminum, 41.7, high levels of aluminum, high levels of barium, high levels of strontium, lead and mercury, sulfur, which is normal, nitrates, and then the pH. Now, how is it that our snow is so high in these heavy metals.
Okay, so that kind of makes sense. Heavy metals. Could be the same thing we were seeing in the microscope.
NASA just caught a tsunami from space for the first time ever, and they're saying that what they saw completely overturns everything that scientists thought they knew about how they were. Okay, so this is actually wild. NASA's SWOT satellite tracked a massive tsunami over an 8.8 magnitude earthquake off of Russia's K Peninsula. And by the way, this was one of the largest earthquakes that we've ever had since 1900. They're saying that for decades, scientists believe that tsunamis traveled as a single stable wave across the entire ocean. That's how literally every single warning system, every single model, and every single prediction has ever been built. But it turns out they were wrong. What NASA was actually able to capture from space showed something completely different. The tsunami didn't travel as one wave. They're saying that it scattered in chaotic, complex patterns, waves bouncing off of each other unpredictably, spreading like ripples colliding in a bathtub. The entire point of all of this is they're saying that the implications here are massive because our entire early warning system for coastal communities is based off of models that apparently don't even match reality. We've been understanding and thinking about tsunamis wrong this entire time up until now. The researchers are currently saying that this discovery could completely transform how we issue warnings and predict and prevent coastal damage. Do you guys understand how insane this is? This is actually good news. We thought we understood tsunamis, but we didn't.
I hear that? I've never heard anything like this in my life. Can't even really see good.
Have you talked to your mom in it?
Hail came through the ceiling in our freaking kitchen, y'all. It just, hail just busted through the ceiling in our, dude. Everybody's sunroofs are busted out. This is like a freaking scene from a movie.
People were terrified after one of the strongest tornadoes and hailstorms in Illinois ripped rooftops clean off, smashed cars, and completely ripped buildings from the ground, with Revelation 16:21 warning that when great hail falls from heaven upon men, each weighing several pounds, alongside dire weather, the final hour is upon us, and this is it. Haunting reports show hail the size of baseballs to even bowling balls raining down at over a whopping 100 miles an hour, smashing not only the windows of cars and rooftops, but denting the cement on the ground, as if something or someone was making sure no one survived this. But it gets worse, as when the storm cleared, the only thing still remained tall was a cross and a church, despite everything around being rubble.
Nope.
Yeah, it's raining rocks. I don't think that's a liquid. Is this what snow is?
Rocks? What happened there? Gotta be like a volcano.
Partly cloudy with a chance of rock. Oh, bruh.
We are evacuating. There are rocks falling from the sky. Look at that.
Definitely still falling.
Rocks falling from the sky. There you go.
You don't have an old shirt you can steal the sleeve off of? Coming down faster than we think. Look at my car.
Got about a 1/4 inch of accumulation.
Snowing in the east. Rocking in the west.
Yeah, it looks burnt. That's gotta be from like a volcano or something.
What the fuck is about to happen?
Closing the curtains up. Dude. Say goodbye to the sun for like a
Absolutely sick.